Happy Magic Monday, Collective Consciousness. This is your Virgo Queen, your transformation coach, using the tools of astrology, tarot, sound healing, and ritual to connect you back to your magic and cosmic self. Now, you have tuned in to the weekly cosmic forecast for June 25th to July 1st, 2018. Now, as you know, this is a time to connect to your cosmic self. What that means is we look at the cycle of the moon. The moon connects us to our inner self, to our inner nature, to our desires and our true emotions. And then I will look at the weekly, how the moon moves throughout the week. I will then look at the tarot to call in the goddess and to receive a message from Gaia on how to implement this magic in our everyday lives. Now, I'd like to begin first with the lunar magic for the week. Now, Monday, this magic Monday, is a Sagittarius moon. So we are fiery. We are full of purpose and direction. And this will be up until Wednesday when the moon moves into Capricorn and we have a full moon in Capricorn. And then this Capricorn moon will last until Friday. And by Saturday, Sunday, we will have an Aquarius moon. So we start off with a little fire, not just a little, I should say, a fire that's wanting to move the worlds of consciousness and to change and to bring truth and to really live our purpose. And Capricorn then wants us to discipline it. This full moon in Capricorn will really be about calling back your power, calling back where your soul, where your energy, all these things have been given to, and it's time to reclaim it within each and every cell. This full moon will be about bringing back your healing powers, this essence of who you are. But again, it's really earthy. It's not this fiery, it's like your ground. You're calling back your foundations, your core values, the essence of who you are. And by the weekend, you'll be able to have a little bit more fun. Might be feeling a bit aloof to what's going on. And that sometimes makes room for more fun if you go with the godly flow. Now, I do want to mention, and I know most of you that do tune into the Cosmic Weekly Forecast, you know a little bit about what's going on in the planets. And on Tuesday, right before the full moon in Capricorn, Mars goes retrograde, and Mars is currently in Aquarius, and he's going to be in retrograde until the end of August, and actually won't go really direct until October. Meaning, so it's like after, he goes direct on August 27th, but it takes him, a while to get back into his own rhythm of things. And this Mars retrograde period is really a time of, again, really creating a strong foundation. But that means that there's going to be an exploration of the tools in which you need to create that foundation. So this is a whole theme of Saturn in Capricorn, where we're really kind of restructuring our power structures, our beliefs, and how we live our lives. So this is going to change a lot. And Mars retrograde isn't really a time to start new things. Even if you do, start new jobs or new projects or get new clients, just know that things might change and shift, and you might feel differently at the end of August when he starts moving back direct on his path home. And again, Mars is the energy that gets us up in the morning. Mars is that masculine energy that goes out and is able to create what the feminine has given him to create. so that the feminine receives the divine messages and the masculine gets up and goes out and does them. Again, I just want to remind us, we all have this quality. We all have a Mars, we all have a Venus. And so it's not saying because you're a female, then you then tell your husband or your male partner to go out and then achieve that. No, you still go out and achieve it. You just need to look at creating that harmony within you. And this is really what it's about, is bringing back that harmony between your masculine and feminine, and really looking at the things that no longer serve you. What habits, what beliefs, what core values do you are attached to? For one, what if you have a core value that feels that you are always alone? And this is a core value that you had when you were a child because you were always alone. Well, do you really want that child's core value to be part of your adult life? No, because you rarely have healthy adult relationships. So it's really about shifting that core value and changing it to something new. And this is a lot of subconscious programming, which I like to do with every full moon and new moon, and every night and every morning. But specifically, the most powerful transformation moments are full moon and new moons, which we have a powerful ritual that you can do for the full moon in Capricorn. So just to give you a little bit more insight into the actual energy, we will look at the tarot. Now, I love the Mother Peace Tarot deck. It was with me when I was a very young girl, and I continue to work with this deck. And so the overall energy for the week is Reverse Shaman of Wands. And it's funny, I just pulled this card for the Magic Monday card of the week. And it's a tough card. It is very much, I feel, like a Capricorn card, where upright, the Shaman of Wands is very confident, very, capable of achieving his tasks in the world, and uses his fire in these healthy, controlled ways. What's happening with Mars retrograde is that we're going to be out of control. Not like everyone's out of control, but it's that we are going to realize the lack of control that we truly have over over others. We can have control of our emotions, of ourselves, and do all of our own things, but we're going to really realize how little control we have over the greater scale of things. And this will cause a lot of maybe lack of faith, lack of confidence in one's own abilities, and this is a profound time. Why? Why go through this process? Why go to the place of the complete opposite of power? Well, we need this opposition, this alchemical force, in order to truly understand the power that lives within us. And often you see this in storytelling, where the hero goes... Actually, I want to tell the story of Hercules, and how Hercules, is born with this gift of power, of literally physical power, and he has this heart of gold where he just wants to save the world. He just wants to fit in. He just doesn't want to be a freak with all his muscle and his power, and everyone thinks he's strange, and he wants to go out and help the world. That's all he wants to do. But it wasn't until, he fell in love and he surrendered himself for love, was when he found his godlike self. And that's when he retained his truest power, is in the surrender of his power. You see what I'm saying here? So when we have these feelings of overwhelm, of looking at our tasks that we need to achieve and thinking, wow, how am I going to achieve this? And we're thinking, how are we going to achieve this on our own? And that is where that's the key right there. when you think that you have to do this all on your own. That is the illusion, because the real truth is that you have this entire cosmic within you. You have this spirit of your ancestors. You have everything, all the resources at your own grasp. And all you have to do is ask. And this is what the Shaman of Wands reverse is telling you, is that your ego mind and all these things are going to get overwhelmed. You're going to have this lack of confidence, this lack of faith, but you need to stop and you need to surrender and you need to let that go and start calling in for help. Start asking, what can I do today? What can you do today? What can you do in this moment that will hopefully lead to something for what you're working on? It's really important to understand that we are in co-creation with the divine, that it is not our pure will or pure ego that's going to get us anywhere in life, that we must surrender. I had this dream where part of my mind was pulsating and alive, and the other part was like this invisible blue, just like iridescent color. And to me that means like, I have part of this, strong will, strong, ability to go and achieve, and it's really fiery, it's really passionate, but there's this whole, it was a bigger part of the brain, and that this conscious pulsating part was much smaller, and the bigger part, it was all connected to spirit. And this to me shows, obviously the subconscious, and we often fear the subconscious because, some people have a lot of trauma and wounds and all these things that are stuck there. And, when we do spend time looking at what that is, there's a lot of shit we have to look at in order to really, move through it. And yeah, I just want to invite people to understand that that's where the magic is, in the subconscious. That's where you can remember your ancestral roots, where you can remember being born into this earth, where you remember being born onto this planet, into this cosmos. So do not be afraid, and all will be revealed when you are ready. So the conflict for the week is the Fool. So that's what I was talking about, surrendering to, which is the divine moment, which is being present. And that's when all things can be achieved, is in the present moment. And it's often when we're future thinking or, past remembering, that we often aren't able to achieve what we want to, because we're overwhelmed, especially when we're doing new things, things that we haven't done before. Our conscious mind just keeps going back to what we know. And the truth is, in order for us to transform, we constantly ask, okay, what can I do? This is a completely new subject, a completely new idea. What can I do? And surrendering to the Fool is surrendering to the divine moment of infinite possibilities. And that really just is telling us to get out of the ego and into the divine moment. So the resolution for the week is Five of Swords, and this isn't the best card. It still shows that there's a lot of negative energy going on, and I don't want to say negative, I want to say stuck energy. And this stuck energy is the conflict of the past with the present moment, because the past is still suffering and the present moment is trying to figure out how to move on, but it's stuck in the past. And so this causes this force, this alchemical fusion of how do I move on? And instead of trying to focus on how to move on, how to work through the pain of suffering, how to work through the pain of what no longer works in your life. And I really want to invite people to have a solution-based mindset this weekend. That you might come against or in front of a lot of things that have been deep within you. Your wounds may surface, and I just want to invite you to welcome them with love, to welcome them with compassion. And, I want to say we're all going to be a bit stubborn with our beliefs, stubborn in what we want to control, stubborn in, how to use our power. And, well, what can I say? May the best one win. May you choose always to choose the path of love. May you always keep choosing to see the magic and the love within all beings. To have your own discernment, but do not belittle others, for we are all the divine's creation. Each and every one of us are all living the divine's creation. Yes, we have our own unique gifts that we must share in this life, but please remember that you are in co-creation. Wake up and ask, how may I serve today? Yes, you may have a job and children and all these things, but how may you serve your soul today? And that is a question that you must be asking during this Mars retrograde, because you will go through the sea of confusion and illusion, my dear friends. And it is all on the quest to your truth. We often get things coming into our lives, especially when we're really close to what we want. There will be the illusions that come in and say, are you sure you don't want this thing? Are you sure you don't want this? And it's going to make us say, yes, I really know what I want. Or we might get completely thrown away into a whole new direction, and then at the end of August, come back to what we really want. It's the journey. This is life. And the cosmos is not here to punish us. It is here to enlighten us to who we really are as unique stories of the divine. So the goddess that will help us this week, that will guide us, is Una. And she says, easy does it. There is no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. Nurturing a cause or a relationship is a long-term commitment, and one that can't be rushed. This level of devotion comes from a place of deep loving and concern. I care what happens to my planet and to my loved ones so much that I'm willing to stick with them through thick and thin. This isn't always easy, but to me, it's the only way to ensure that matters are resolved and healed. I listen to the passionate strings of my heart. I reach out and take action to let my loved ones know that I deeply care about them. I take action to spur on my pet causes. Never mind what other people think. You will benefit by carrying through with your priorities. You'll feel so good about yourself if you make time for the relationships and projects that truly count in your heart. Do what's important to you, and do it with absolute devotion. But remember that there's no competition for your true life's purpose, so there's no need to worry, hurry, or feel that you have to force things to happen. Wow. So, various meanings of this card. Don't worry about your purpose or your goals. Make no sudden moves. Slow, steady progress is best right now. Ease into your new life instead of rushing into it. Do your new work as a part-time venture to begin with, while slowly exiting your old career. The Celtic goddess Una is married to Fionn, the leader of the Irish Tuatha di Danis. Una and her clan were some of the original inhabitants of Ireland. When the Gaels invaded their land, the Turas didn't run or fight back. Instead, they transformed themselves into leprechauns. Their ingenious solution allowed them to stay in Ireland in peace. Call upon Una for help with your own transitions, and she'll guide you in creative and magical ways. Thank you, sweet goddess. I feel this is the goddess for the Mars retrograde period. We do need to be reminded for that. This is going to be a summer where things aren't going to happen the way that we want them to. Even if we are overly ambitious and confident and capable, we're going to be tested. And we need to surrender to that. How do we surrender? By going out for walks, by listening to nature, by stopping and insisting that our soul guide us. There are many tools to this pathway. And before we go, I would like to read a message from Gaia. And she says, "Be without malice. You have been hurt, disrespected, or disappointed by others. Another has let you down or betrayed you. It is normal and natural to experience feelings of anger, hurt, and disappointment. To feel any and all emotion is natural, but you have choice always in how you respond. Do not allow your hurt to become a source of infection. Acknowledge it, learn from it and your experiences, and then let the anger, hurt, and disappointment go. Do not allow them to inspire acts born of malice or spite." Like I said, Mars retrograde and full moon in Capricorn, there's a lot of anger coming up, a lot of disappointment, a lot of pain. And it's time to heal it instead of being overpowered by it, instead of it dictating your everyday life. It's time to heal it. You are not alone. We are all here being guided with a bigger mission, probably bigger than we'll ever really know. So, take time to heal, slow down, start trusting in something much bigger than yourself. And if you need support on your journey, or would like a one-on-one reading on how this Mars retrograde will personally affect you, contact me at www.inner-stories.com or email me at innerdoorways@gmail.com. Be brave, dear hearts, for we are in a time of great transformation. And just trust that I am a message away. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be.